So that the two who had run down here, the three in fact who had run down here, are the primary blockers. But well, you're not out yet, so I can't tell you the disposition of the people outside the entrance, even though I'm ready for it. So, what do you do?
I think at this point, hearing the commotion, being slightly surprised that there so far didn't happen anything, I'm looking around if there is something around here that would make some kind of makeshift weapon. Which I doubt, but
Not in the immediate spot that I can think of. This is a fairly plain corridor.
yeah.
Make a luck roll. Make a luck check. Plain old, no opposition. Just we'll see how well you do on luck.
Luck is the same as fate.
Okay. If you have the ability, yes. Otherwise, it's half. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's half.
Okay.
This is a nice 99. That should even be enough.
You
That's
haven't.
superior.
No, you didn't get an awesome. How painful.
I would
Oh.
need a 100 for that.
Okay. Well, I am sorry for no
It's
awesome.
rounding down, right?
Well, that's
So I
correct.
can
Yeah.
correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly. Yeah.
Then it's, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just keep that in mind for the future then, though. So, what I would like to tell you is that you clearly, I will say, you get a makeshift weapon that I am going to consider to be at least as good as a sword. I mean, you have effectively a sword, which you can use with your dagger skill, I suppose, whatever fighting skill you have, because it's
Good.
makeshift.
So,
Yeah, that's right. You can use it.
so some metal bar.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking
Nice.
actually something probably a fairly expensive and nicely, tastefully placed ritual object near that entrance with that has a nice solid feel to it. And so it's like this is very beautiful and very realistic and very, very
Yeah, let's be a
ritualistic and
little bit
very
more
religious,
blasphemous.
but it can do the job if I needed to. It's also very expensive. So you do superior, you're very lucky. You get luck on your right. Okay, you were lucky. Ooh, you could keep that. Okay, so yes, you have what is effectively a, if it were in a different setting, I would say the perfect Gothic candlestick. An Agatha Christie murder weapon. Right. So
Nice.
excellent. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so therefore, what do the two of you do?
I think I tell 13, keep that ready. And I'm going to just stride toward the three Vargar and shout, out of the way. If you want to catch the desecrators of our sacred pyramid, you'll step aside and let 13 and I do our work.
Okay, first of all, just to get them aside, through your sort of impressiveness, let me quick take a look at some of these. I'm saying that you're aiming more for intimidation than you are rhetoric and oratory. So therefore, this definitely is bully.
Okay. And I think I am dragging my gigantic sword behind me.
Oh yeah.
And it's just making an awful screeching noise against the cobblestones.
Well, I'll give you definitely a column shift on
fear.
this because this is even better. No, this isn't bully. This is regard with a column shift with a +1 effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This is all right, assholes, I'm back. Right. And that's regard.
I love that. So with the column shift, that is a good result.
Oh, that is good. That's what you need. The three of them instantly, fall away. Everybody gives a little bit of a shock, response. And everybody stops arguing with each other, because everyone has you kind of see the look in everybody's eyes. It's kind of like everybody metaphorically puts up one paw and says, "I have questions." So it's just different questions across the crowd. So so at the moment you can see too that Ogox is present, although not yet at the opening of the door. She almost certainly was on her way there, but things were too confused and people were too disobedient, um, to let her get there. Besides, this has been happening fairly quickly. Um, the injured Vargar who had fallen on the steps is somebody has somebody was nice enough to drag him away from trampling feet and to see if he's okay. You don't know how he is, but he's not just lying there on the steps at the moment. So I'm thinking about sort of the Vargar community. There's at least 20 Vargar around in various places involved with their attention on this spot. So, what will the two of you do in this moment of collective gasp before everybody expresses their questions?
13, no time. We can explain this later, but we've got to get to the top of that pyramid. And I think I'm just going to turn and start leaping up those steps.
You've got run. Run is what you want. And you're a Vargar, you've
Okay.
got running, and you might want to basically grab 13 on the way, or else you'll leave them far behind.
Very nice.
So what this means is whether you're getting up there before you get mobbed with all of the questions, priorities, attempts to control the situation, and murder attempts, all of which are very likely among the various Vargar
Yes.
toward you, toward both of you.
And let's see, is run a focus under agility?
I believe it's actually under stamina.
Stamina.
And as a
There it
Vargar,
is. All right.
it's racial for you, so I know you have the full facility in it.
Perfect. Oh, that is 100.
Well,
That
you
is
see,
awesome.
you needed a pretty decent result because you're running against other Vargar. You see, if you were running against a bunch of non-quadrupeds, then you wouldn't have to get a very good roll. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
But here, the difficulty would have been like poor or something. But here, you at least needed a good to outrun the other Vargar. So even though it's also true you had a bit of an advantage in getting off the spot quickly, but still you needed a good. Well, did you check it? Check run.
It did. Yes.
Okay. So well, that's no problem. You guys definitely speed up the pyramid, leaving the babble behind, and and so you make it to the top. Now you did have to traverse your way through half the pyramid in order to get out. So therefore, the other two have had quite a nice start. But I presume, knowing that you had made your intuition and your direction check, that you know where to go and look down the opposite side. So therefore, the two of you are looking down the opposite side. If we put away our cutaway map and get out our pyramid map, if you haven't already, but I'm going to.
It's already there.
Yeah, I've got it. Okay. You're looking down almost exactly the same staircase, and then there's that little pathway that goes to the river bank. And you can see right from where you are that the two of them are readying their boat, which they had concealed in that big tree to your left. Under that big tree. Given the size of the pyramid, if there are any Vargar in this area, which incidentally doesn't look as well traveled as the other area. But if there are any, they are not alerted as to all of the commotion around the pyramid. It's pretty big. And so, therefore, none of that has really traveled over to this side of the pyramid yet. So, therefore, you're looking down, you can see them. And just for actually, let's have both of you make this. Actually, shouldn't be very hard, but I want to see how well it goes. Just taking a look at these various alertness things. I think this is basic alertness. So both of you roll basic alertness. Just no ability, no specialty.
Passable.
Good.
Okay. It is 13 who effectively exchanges a look with them down there. They're not close enough for genuine eye contact, but you can tell they're both looking up. They see you and you see them. So there is this mutual recognition. And all Theoxa gets is, boy, they sure do look familiar somehow. I mean, in a creepy way. So, oh, and also that good alertness, you definitely see that they have that green glowing relic. Which, incidentally, is really green all of a sudden.
Now
Never.
the river is flowing to flowing.
Wait, we established that.
Yeah, I know. After
Yes.
some confusion and changes of mind on my part, we now know that it goes from left to right,
Yeah.
and that it actually
And
does hit a waterfall. There are some rapids and a waterfall that goes down to the next level, where the other map is.
yes. Mm.
So they must have something in mind with their boat and waterfalls or something, but whatever that may be.
Mm.
13, do you think, that river flows to the bridge? You think we could get down there ahead of them, and
You
meet
may.
them on the bridge?
I'm not sure I'm fast enough, but you certainly may.
Well, follow as closely as you can. And I'm gonna take off and see if I can get to that bridge ahead of them.
Okay, let's do another intuition check, and this one is for 13. No, sorry, yes, for 13, not for Theoxa, based on what you had spotted with your alertness.
Eyes don't get better if you get older. Intuition is under fate. It's poor.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so so yes, a certain possibility of why is the artifact? Why is the did I say artifact? Why is the relic glowing green? Oh, who cares?
Never mind.
Yeah, never
We
mind.
first have
Yeah,
to get it.
yes. So, good. All right. Down you go. Theoxa, let's think about this. I'm going to look at these pictures again. To do this, you're going to have to get down the river. You'll have to get to the falls, and then you'll have to go, and then there's the lower map, And then to get to the bridge, there. I am finding every freaking map except the page I want. There. Aha. Yes, that would be in fact the same river, and you would have to get there from here. Okay, this is going to be an interesting stretch. First of all, if it was just an unbroken river, then they would make it there long before you. The water would take them, there. But there is whatever it is they have in mind for the falls, which is opaque to you at the moment. I mean, you, it is a boat. It's not, for example, a helicopter as well. So it seems unlikely that they could just shoot off the falls, turn on the rotor, and descend nicely to the next level. That's probably not going to happen. So therefore, it's uh, it's a mystery. But presuming that they negotiate the falls in some way, that might slow them down enough.
Okay.
So therefore, you are going to have to make a running check, and you will leave 13 of it far behind unless you carry them.
Yeah, I think I say follow as closely as you can, and then just take off.
You're not going to let 13 jump on your back, for example?
Oh, I guess, well, yes, I am large enough. Yeah, so I'll get down on all fours
Mm-hmm.
and say, you don't worry, you need a ride.
Okay.
And present my back.
Okay.
Very reading skill. You want me to roll for that?
No, that'll be fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Passable.
Only passable. Okay. Well, that means that you are going to make it to the bridge just as they are passing under it. So you don't get there ahead of time, right?
Okay.
You don't get your goal of getting there ahead of time and being able to plan your action. Now they must have done something at the falls. And just to be clear, in passing, they're in a slightly different boat. So
okay.
They did however they made it down the falls, they did not ride the boat down the falls. They must have prepared. So therefore, that took a little time. They actually had to do whatever it was to either climb down the rocks next to the falls or almost inconceivably make a jump or something. But whatever it is that they did, that must have taken some time. Although one could imagine with that preparation that perhaps they had rigged a rope, or better, a rope ladder next to the falls in some, useful way, down a passage, and therefore descended relatively quickly. But still, it's not instantaneous, so therefore that's gave you a chance. Still, your chance wasn't great.